Hey everyone, let me get this thing straightened out. Oh, we got it good. And welcome to the Friday night show, everyone. Hey, Brian and Randy and everybody, Rodney and Steve. Let me get a link. Let's see, invite. There's a link. Anybody wants to come in? Let's see if get it pinned here in a minute. There we go. Yep, there we are. Pinned up on top. Well, Tom, I got your rain today that you had last night. Not much, though, just a little bit of showers. Hey, Tyrone. Um, and all that. Been pulling feeders off on my hives. Down to, I pulled 8 feeders off. Yeah, let's see. I guess it was yesterday off my nukes. And oh, really, Tom? It's still raining? Yeah, it rained here about 4 o'clock today, and I think it's pretty much out of here by now. It'll probably be gone by tomorrow. And anyway, I pulled 8 nuke top hive feeders off. I got 3 left. That's all the feeders left on my hives for the season. So hopefully they'll suck that sugar water down by, let's say, Sunday, and then I'll be done as far as the feeding aspect of everything. Hey, Bob. And got that done. And hopefully wash that stuff out and put it away for the year until next season. And then I'll say while everybody's here listening in, next Friday I will not be on. I am going on vacation. And so hey, Todd. Todd, I got your package today. Pretty good stuff there. And so anyway, we'll not be on next Friday. Bob or somebody can take over and have a Friday night chat. And so I will be, after, I guess, coming back from vacation next week, I'll probably start doing my OA vaporization, depending on weather conditions. And it should be sort of warm and all that. It's going to be cold here the next few days. And so that's where we're at here at the hives. The picture behind me looks pretty much representation of what's going on right now, except for maybe the hives down at the other end where they have carpet on. That's probably going to come, maybe November when it gets really cold and all that. Here's Randy. And there's my sidekick.
Beekeeping it real. What's going on?
Not much. I got a package today of 1 pound honey from Blue Curl from Todd. There he is right there.
The Blue Curl.
Blue Curl honey. I think it's, what do you call it? California goldenrod is equal to
California's version. Yeah. Did you get yours, Bob?
No, I didn't get it. Well, I say that I checked the mail early today and I got mail out of the box, but I didn't see anything. I can run out there in a second and go check.
I'm surprised Charlie got, because I mailed that Wednesday afternoon. There's no way in hell that it got there overnight. I didn't pay for overnight.
Well, he's in the big city, right?
I don't know. It was, the price on that darn postage was unreal.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was like $14 or something like that.
Might as well call it $15, $14.95. It was like, good God Almighty, for a pound of honey.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah. Welcome.
I'll give you my address so you can mail me a check, Charlie.
I'm gonna send you. As soon as I get I got a bottle of good honey out there. I'm gonna this year's honey, I'm gonna send you a bottle. Are you coming to Nobby or not?
No, I won't be able to this year.
All right. Well, I'll send you some honey back.
So I had
Oh, go ahead.
no. Go ahead. If y'all are still talking about the honey, I was
Yeah.
going to change up.
If you think your postage was high, you should have seen how much it cost to send one to Brad. And he won't get it for probably 2 weeks.
It'll be solid in the bottle by the time he gets there.
It'll be.
I just sent you a bottle of crystallized honey.
Yeah.
That's like squeeze cheese. You could just call it squeeze curl. That's all. The squeeze curl.
So what did you think of it, Charlie? Did it have some?
It was nice and sweet, and it sort of tasted like my honey in a way. I mean, I'm not a real honey connoisseur type of person. I mean, if it's orange honey, I can taste that citrus for about 3 seconds or so.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't know, just I don't know, it had a nice flavor to it. I thought it was nice and sweet and all, and all. It was good. I kept tasting a little bit more of it to kind of, I didn't know whether, I mean, you really liked it a lot. So what other kind of honey do you have that isn't as nice? Let's say.
Well, the orange honey I have is really nice.
Yeah,
but this honey is different because all the flavor seems to be in the front, and then as it kind of goes away, it just kind of fades away slowly. There's no kick at the end or anything like that. At least what I
didn't have any like bitter taste or anything like that at the end and all that stuff. But I don't know. I was looking at my car. There was a gal that at the local supermarket that she works in the deli, and she kind of knows me per se, and she does a good job of slicing up my cheese and whatever, and she's told me tonight that she was leaving for another job. So I went back out to the car and I grabbed a bottle of a bear. I've given her a bear before because she slices it just right for me. And I said, well, here's your going away present and stuff like that. But I happened to look at the bottles I had in the car, and I'm like, oh, this is this year's honey, because I'm draining my bottling tank down. I got about 4 inches left in it right now, and it's last year. It seemed like the new honey was heavier than the old honey, and the old honey, last year's honey, was more of a darker color. And a brown or whatever. It's kind of like yours, but a little bit darker than yours. So I've been trying to get that out the door. I'm not sure whether I'm going to wash the bottling tank or not. It does have pollen, on the outer hot rim. But try to take and get that drained out, and then I'm going to dump all my buckets of my fresh honey in there and that kind of stuff. I had one guy, I like the darker honey, versus the lighter honey. And then I had one lady, well, I like the lighter honey versus the darker honey. I'm like, whatever, it's honey. I like the lighter looking stuff too, but I think it all kind of tastes the same to me.
I got a ground zero report today.
What's the dealio?
So didn't skip a beat. Queen moved her back in. She's walking around, laying. I picked her up, put the red dot on her so that stuff doesn't happen again. Put her back in there. She went right down back to work. She's good to go. So,
nice.
Crisis avoided.
What about your nuke? Are they going to try to?
They were already queenless when I put that other frame over there. That's why I was saying I was trying to make a November queen to see if it would take, but I made one all right. I just took it from one colony and put it in the other. So I moved it back, and doing good now. So can't complain about that. I unscrewed myself on that. So so it worked out well. Let's see. Brian's throwing up the gang signs today.
Yeah, I threw those at him too.
But yeah, it was a good day. Like early, it was nice, and then all of a sudden the clouds just came in and it started raining. And I was the funniest thing happened to Brad and I today. So we were going to invite Todd, but Todd I knew was at a dentist appointment because it was right around lunchtime here.
Yeah.
And Charlie, I knew you'd be at work, but we just got in a messenger. It was funny because we went in StreamYard and he couldn't hear me. And I'm like, well, my mic, on the little thing is showing that it's listening. And he said, all right, let's just do Messenger. So I went over to Messenger and now I couldn't hear him. And we're like, what in the world's going on? It turns out that when he stepped away last night, he had muted the chat on StreamYard, the tab, and I had muted my Facebook so the notification wouldn't come up, but we both forgot that we had the things muted. So we're sitting here trying to wonder, what power to be didn't want us to talk to each other today. And we weren't saying words, but we were just chuckling and laughing like it was the funniest thing ever, but we finally figured it out. So, stuff happens.
Hey, Ed.
That's not Ed, that's Tom.
That's Tom.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, Bob. Hey, Todd.
I'm looking down in the chat area here.
I'm on my phone tonight, just taking it easy.
That's name of the game right now.
Yeah, I don't take breaks very often. Just like I'm always doing something.
So I got, today I was thinking, well, I'm going to go out and do the OA. And then I started thinking, well, you know what? I changed all the bottom boards out. They all had my holes drilled in it. So then I would have to go out there and drill holes in all the boxes so I could OA it. And it was just like, it's raining. It's perfect time. And it wasn't like a hard rain. It was just like a mist. So it's like the perfect time to OA. And I was like, by the time I got out there, I'm like, yeah. But then by the time I drill the holes and do everything, and it was, it'll wait till tomorrow when it's supposed to be nicer. So.
Oh, what I do for rain right now.
Is that B. Ryan? B. Ryan!
Hey, Brian.
What's up, sir?
Wait a minute. First thing, how many drinks are we in tonight so we can disclaim this video right now? Well, that's the first one. Or is that the second?
Cranberry with the
It's a very
I have a barley pop.
very heavily poured old fashioned.
Hey, Brian, what was that you posted up earlier?
The picture?
Yeah. Who was that?
He's too many drinks in to remember now. That's an issue. We need to come over and do an intervention tonight, Brian.
No, actually, someone passed away, and I didn't know who it was.
That's why I'm doing this.
Was that your brother? Oh man!
Oh, my condolences.
Oh,
Sorry to hear that.
Oh.
How old was your brother, Brian? It's it's a tough one.
Yeah. That's be really tough.
I'm guessing totally unexpected. Yeah, that's too bad, brother. I'm sorry, brother.
Sorry, brother. Condolences, that's for sure.
Yeah. He was 39.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks.
So he was screwing around with them damn drugs.
Oh.
So, and I hadn't talked to him in a couple years because of it. Because it was, it's just, it got to a point where it was just like, come on. And my brother texted me this morning, my one that lives up close. And yeah.
Wow, that's too bad.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's bad too.
So I
Well deserved.
am drinking out of my limited edition 1972 vintage aged to perfection bourbon glass. So I don't want to bring everybody down. It's been a long damn day.
Well, you're in the right place with a bunch of good friends.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry. I kind of figured something was up, but I didn't. I couldn't tell exactly.
Yeah.
You guys look similar, but I wasn't 100% sure. So
We tried to get him a couple years back. We tried to get him to come to Ohio just to get out of all that. Just, like fresh start. He was going to live with my aunt and uncle, and they had a job lined up for him. It was a time to just wipe the slate clean and start fresh. And he stayed up here 2 or 3 days, and he bounced out when nobody was around and left a note saying he was going back to Florida. So, and it was just, it kind of spiraled after that. And I, as good old Bob knows, I'm hard-headed, and I get things in my head, and I'm hard-headed and just stubborn. And
I resemble that remark as well. So
I just, I kind of did this, because it's, I just, it gets to a point when you're dealing with that it's like, it's hard, so, and I got another half brother down there, and he's in bad shape too. He and I don't want to, Charlie, I don't want to,
You're here. You need to be here tonight.
Yeah.
You need to be here, and we are your friends. Everybody all across the whole United States and Canada, and this is where you need to be.
I'm tossing up one for Ian, because Ian's not allowed to drink Kraken just yet. So, but my other half brother has been in and out of prison. Some bad stuff, really, really bad stuff he's done in his life. And he's messed with the dope too. And, so I kind of did that too with him, but.
Makes you stop and rethink.
Brian, you can only do so much for these people. You can lead them and try to help, and it's they have to make that final decision. I mean, I have a niece that way, and we kind of washed our hands with her, and I'll say last time I seen her, well, she had, she's kind of got her act together somewhat, and but we all, a lot of us have those type of issues, and you have to just
someone told me once, you got to love people where they're at, right? You can do what you can, but doesn't mean you don't love them. It's just you get to a point where there's just nothing you can do. I mean, my father was a alcoholic my entire life, right? Loved him to death. We just never saw eye to eye on hardly anything. But it doesn't mean I didn't love him, and that, he's passed away too. That there's not a day I don't wish that he wasn't here with me, but
right.
You have to love them from that's safe distance sometimes, you know.
Yeah. So I have not been to Florida since my father died when I was 21. So I probably will go to Florida for the first time in 30 years. So each time I go to Florida, somebody dies. So it's not the retirement state, at least for me.
Well, that's why everybody's moving to South Carolina now.
Right. Yeah. But I held it together all day, literally all day. I got a text in the morning from my brother, up in Cleveland. And I was actually at his place last night. We had dinner and stuff. And then I was like, damn, went into work and just sat doing work all day. And come home and cracked some of these open. And I thought, you know what? The wife's over a friend's place. I'm going to talk to buddies about bees. So.
Well, if you were on last night, Robert told us how he blew his hive up. That was pretty.
That was funny.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, between a blowtorch and a rocket.
He was treating his Varroa with, how they were using those foggers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
he was using Everclear with his oxalic to vaporize it, and
what?
the fume backlash blew the cover off the top and blew a flame out the front.
It blew the lid. It blew the telly 10 feet up in the air.
Oh my! God.
And then it set. What was it? The third one over, he did it again, and it kind of raised. It blew the darn hive up in the air and set it off on the side.
Oh man!
And he said miraculously those hives made it though.
Well, yeah, he blew the Varroa 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, I asked him if he killed any mites.
that I found that one quite comical, but it's the with that, I think you're supposed to use 90% isopropyl alcohol, not 90 proof.
That's 100.
Not 90%.
I think.
What is it?
Isn't it 100? Isn't it Everclear 101?
It depends what state you're in.
Oh.
Here, I can get it like super unleaded. You know what I mean?
It causes cancer in California.
Well,
I have.
It causes cancer in California.
No, I don't have any up here. My all of my booze is downstairs.
That's a tripping hazard.
No doubt.
Yeah, but if I happen to slip down the stairs, there's a railing I can grab and stuff like that. So
I can literally reach right beside me, and I've got a couple of spares right over here.
yeah, though when it's vintage 1972.
I think Monster needs to send me a sponsorship. So if anybody knows anybody at Coca-Cola, I drink these things on every single stream. I'm in the yard. You got 50 cans around my bee yard. They can come and paint all my hives different Monster can colors and put the emblems on them if they want to.
There you go.
But I'll pour a little drink here in my Monster for
this.
Yeah,
brother. Here.
Man, I tell you, life is a very fragile thing,
Yeah.
But
heck,
crazy.
Just driving to work. Look at the people and texting, Bob doing live videos, all kinds of stuff. Going down the road,
Yeah.
3 years ago, I lost my best friend falling down a flight of steps.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
It's tough. Yeah.
I should have made sure I wasn't going to blow my face up when I did that. The alcohol and the lighter right away.
Yeah.
My lid 10 feet up in the air.
Yeah. Brian C, I see in chat, Brian C, the bug farmer, was talking about you today on his video. I was sitting at work, and when I'm at work and just doing the blah stuff, I have my computer and I'm listening to stuff. So, and I caught that, and I look over, and yeah, he was talking about you there, Brian. So
Brian's got good content. If you're not subscribed to Brian C's channel, I highly recommend it. I like that rooftop hive they've been doing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the beetle trap bottom boards videos that he's done. So, or video, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So, that's what the bug farmer needs to watch. He needs to watch that video because he's having hive beetle problems. He needs to go ahead and put those on.
He always has hive beetle problems.
Welcome to the South.
Yeah. I don't know how you guys deal with that. I mean, like,
Yeah.
when he says I saw a couple, and a couple means like 40 or 50 or whatever. Well, a couple to him means 40 or 50. Like when I say I saw a couple, that was I saw like two or three. Yeah, I'm like, I saw a couple, and I reached in and I squished them, But to say I saw a couple and there's like 30, 40, 50.
Did you see his little vacuum was full of them when he was vacuuming them up? I mean, the whole chamber was full of hive beetles.
What's the name of his channel?
The Bug Farmer.
Bug Farmer.
Yeah, but what's Brian's channel?
Brian C.
Brian C.
Oh, Brian C's the bug. Oh, okay.
Their name is their channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brian. If I see 5 of them, that's a whole bunch.
I know.
If I see 5 in one colony, I'm happy. That's like winning. We're winning this battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough.
There we go. Tom got it. I saw it, Tom.
Yeah. Cheer. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, I appreciate the words. It's just, yeah. I was sitting downstairs watching Big Bang Theory. I love that damn show for some reason.
I've watched that whole series.
I've seen every episode, and it just still cracks me up, But I thought, you know what? It was like 10 to 8. I'm like, I know there's bee chat tonight.
You can say that any night at 8 o'clock.
I know that. So, yeah.
Hey, Lee.
Oh man.
So how are your hives, Brian? I know you put a video out where you were feeding and treating and all that stuff.
They're doing good. I'm learning the art of clickbait.
Yes. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
mite treatments and winter feed. That's the 2 things guarantee survival for your bees over the winter. Or was it the boots and the mite treatment? I'm trying to figure it out.
Well, you had to have the boots on when you were doing the mite treatment.
Otherwise, your bees. If I didn't wear these damn boots, these bees didn't have a chance.
And also when you're feeding, because you might dump the feed on your feet.
Right.
And then you'll catch a cold, get pneumonia, and be in the hospital. It's a trickle effect, Yeah.
You are the first beekeeper I've seen that had a paid sponsorship from a shoe company in the bee yard. I'm like, that's pretty impressive.
They emailed me and they wanted me to do literally an entire length video on the boots, like walking through creeks and fields. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to stop you there. I said, I'm not like a product kind of person. I said, if you're fine with me putting them in a video when I'm checking my bees, I said, I will do that. But I said, I'm not going to turn my channel into some kind of product thing. And we kind of went back and forth, and they were finally like, well, okay, that's good. So, and I've had them. I actually have had those darn things for 2 to 2.5 months, but just haven't had time. I just.
So now you got to 3D print a GoPro holder that'll strap to the back of your calf so it actually shows the feet walking in the boots.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, those boots though, they're pretty slick because they even have on the back of the boot towards the bottom, there's like this little piece that comes out, so you can like put one on it and then it holds it so your foot, you know, you slip your foot out. They're pretty, and I tell you, they are comfortable darn things. So yeah, I'm looking for a solution in my problem. Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Brad, I'm gonna get in touch.
Well, I don't know that 600. I don't know that $600 worth of syrup on your boots would. I don't know if they could fix that.
Yeah, that's tough. I heard about that. Lee wants me to do a video with them climbing. I mean, that would probably be the last video you'd ever see me, because then you'd see just the sky as I'm falling off of whatever like cliff. So Lee's trying to take me out too.
Man, I gotta get on my computer so I can see the comments.
Yeah. No, Charlie, they're all the colonies, they're all doing good. I had, so I'm at 16. I had one colony that was kind of weak coming out of the summer. Even it was weird. So I pinched the queen, put a new queen in it, and I condensed it down into a single brood. They're just in a single 10 frame. And there was enough stores and stuff, and there were enough bees to fill it out pretty good. But they're all doing good. I mean, they look good. I mean, you know, I look at the clusters in them now, and they're decent size. So we'll see. You know, I mean, the true like tell all is, you know, at least here is come end of March. You know, I'll know how I did this year. So
Yeah, well, I mean, when you get around mid to late February, you know, check stores and see whether or not you got enough on.
Yeah.
Because your March is the starvation month.
Yeah.
What month do you usually start getting days that you can peak in your colonies where you could?
Oh my gosh. You know, our weather here has been so crazy because in the last few years, like, we went from like winters when I was younger, you know, you'd have snow, and even 10 or so years ago, I remember there was a winter we had snow December 1st, and we didn't see green grass until after St. Patrick's Day.
Wow.
And now it's gone where we typically don't have snow on the ground that stays until after the new year. And then it's into March when the snow is kind of, you know, it's melted off, but, you know, we still get the storms here and there. So, you know, like March, that's like the critical month. But now what I've done is, and I was talking about it in the last video, I kind of standardized everything as far as my feeders. I used to have, God, I probably had half a dozen different style feeders. I would just see some on Amazon and I'd buy it. And you know, and it's so hard when you have all this different equipment because you're having to deal with all this different stuff. But now I got, other than my Apame and the Poly Hive that have their own feeders built in, my 2 8-frame colonies that I have at the farmer's place have top feeders, and then every other colony has buckets now.
Did you see that feeder that I'm trying out right now? It's a lid like this, but it's got the feeder is screwed into the bottom, so you can take like a fuel door off of right here and fill it directly in without taking your colony off, taking the top off the colony.
Yeah.
So it's working pretty well. You know, I've only got one on one hive, but it's working. I like it because it kills two birds with one stone. You have the cover and the feeder. They're one piece. You can, well, they're actually two pieces. You can unscrew them, but
yeah.
But it's just
check it out. Yeah. No, but everything now, like I'm standardizing, and I'm switching. I never thought I'd do this, but I'm gradually getting rid of all of my 8 frame and moving to 10 frame. I'm standardizing all the equipment across the board. It makes it easier when everything is the same.
Yeah.
Well,
And the thing of it is, I found for around here is try to find 8 frame equipment. It's very difficult. Everything's 10 frame.
well, you can find it around here because like Blue Sky has it. Greg carries 8 frame stuff, so it's not that I can't find it in Ohio. It's just having 2 different sizes.
Yeah.
You don't know how many times I've walked out and I just grab a box and I walk out and I'm like, darn it, I grabbed the wrong one,
Right.
So I'll probably end up keeping the 2 at the farmers will probably be the only ones left that are 8 frame. And other than that, everything at the main apiary, I'll probably transition to 10, just so that when I'm over there, if I need something, I just grab a box and it doesn't matter. It's 10 frames. So
I'm starting to do that between honey supers and brood box. I was running deeps with mediums, and I'm just starting to try to transition to all deeps to where I can buy one type of frame, one type of feeder, one type of bottom board,
Yeah.
And
it helps.
Just, then you can start taking advantage of like, well, now I need 500 frames. I get a little bit of a discount, on stuff like that. And
buy them at the Bee Expo.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, I got 3 8 framers, and I just keep them at my other apiary. Actually, I keep them over there so I don't have to mess with them here, my main place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably now. There's 1 8 frame hive that I probably will. I'll probably move it to the farmer's place or just keep it just to show. But it's the very first hive that I ever bought, and it's from a company that isn't even around anymore, and it's got the observation windows in it. And it has a little bee that's engraved into the observation board.
Okay.
I forget,
I know who you mean. Yep.
I forget the name of the company, but they're not around anymore.
They're close to you guys. Weren't they up north somewhere?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. But I still have that, and it's still. I mean, this is its 7th year, and the first few years with it, I would use tung oil, and oil it up, and then on its about 4th year, I did that charring and I burnt it and tung oiled it, and the wood is solid. So, but I just, it's got that kind of sentimental value that it was my very first hive I ever bought and assembled, So, yeah, I got to decide what I'm going to do with that one. So, but Charlie, you're twiddling your thumbs.
No, I'm just listening. No, just
Yeah.
I'm glad everybody's hives are doing well.
In fact, Brian, that's how I caught that fall Mike Esconded hive. I just keep my extra boxes sitting on the bench, and they came in through the bottom into some frames I had about midway up there.
You can't beat that.
next year, if you'd have left them out there next year, you'd been like, where the hell did this swarm come from? All my colonies still have hives in it. It was a swarm off of your swarm that was just in an old box sitting off to the side.
Well, the funny thing about it, I didn't even know there was bees there. I wanted the shim, one of those inner cover shim ones that's got the little lip on them. It was in the middle of the stack. So I was taking the stacks off, and I take that cover off, and I disturbed a whole 4 or 5 rooms of bees. It's like, where these come from?
Wow.
Brian, do you get much late summer to fall hive losses? because we always talk about what we lose in the spring, but not what we lose in the summer. I lose more in the summer typically than I do like in the March time frame, like you guys do up there.
I've only ever had in 7 years 2. So I mean, it's minimal, very, very, very minimal.
So you guys pretty much you don't have that late after honey flow dearth that just kind of hits you. You get trickle in all year.
There's still, yeah, like when our flow starts in the spring, like when that kind of stops, there's still a little bit of a trickle, so that we don't. It's not like down south, like it doesn't shut off entirely. We still have a little bit, and there's times where I'll leave, like on the strong ones that are pulling in, I'll leave a super on just because there's times when I've gone in the middle of the summer and I've seen where they're backfilling a little bit. Now, not much, but you'll still see them backfilling in the brood area here and there. You'll see little cells with fresh nectar in it. And I'm like, throw a box on that one.
Yeah, Bob. We only get about maybe a month, maybe September or last week of August.
Well, that's perfect for you guys because you start throwing on mite treatments and then it's wintertime and you're good to go until next spring.
Yes.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, we used to get good clover till it gets really, really hot, middle of August or something like that. And this year, I got clover right now still blooming.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, up here, pretty much just because of the cold nights we've had, everything is pretty much dead.
Yeah, we haven't gotten quite that yet down here in the South Ohio.
Yeah.
I think Monday is supposed to go down to 35. So
Well,
we're getting.
It's so amazing how even within the same state or area that things vary so much.
Oh,
yeah.
I can drive 3 miles over to my mentor's. His honey looks entirely different than mine. It's darker, tastes different.
I think Brian's 4 hours north of me. So
yeah, like we've got. So next week we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are in the 60s. And then after that, the high from next Saturday for the rest of the forecast, the high is 55, and we've got lows going down to 35, 33. So it's
right now we're playing in the 48 for the low to like 75 for the high. That's our zone right now. So
yeah. See, Brian, down here in my part in Ohio, next week we're supposed to go up to 78, I think, on one day, and a couple low 70s.
Wow.
Well, it was 94 degrees here today.
Huge difference.
There is. Like where I'm at, the thing that affects where I'm at is the Canadians. The Canadians, they sit there and they blow their cold air over
their lakes,
and all that
nothing
cold,
but hot air here.
That cold air coming
you
off
just
the
don't
lake.
believe me? Watch Ian's channel. Okay, now I'm watching the comments for a zinger.
Yeah. Now we get that lake effect. So, we get those cold winds that come from Canada down to my area. So, but I'm south enough from the lake that we don't get the lake effect snow, thankfully. So, but we still get the cold winds.
Yeah, when I used to live north, just a little bit north of Fort Wayne, Indiana, by Lake Michigan, it would be partly cloudy with 3 to 4 inches of snow because there's squalls coming off the lake.
Yeah.
Here, if we get a frost warning, they close schools down. It's true. It's going to freeze tomorrow. We're closing the school down.
Oh my!
Really?
I need a refill.
We don't have any like salt trucks or anything like that. The state, I think, owns one, and they don't put salt out; they put sand out on the road. Yep. And so if they say it's a freeze warning or something like that, school's done. for that. It's not going to happen.
Bob, I was working in Winston-Salem, and one of those winter storms come through, and it was a little bit of ice and there was snow. And I'm walking into the hospital, and
It's a ghost town.
well, I seen the maintenance guy, and he had a bag of sand, and he's throwing sand out. And I stopped, and I looked at him, and I said, "Excuse me, sir." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Why are you throwing sand out?" He said, "Well, for the ice and the snow." I said, "Why don't you use salt?" He said, "Why would I do that?" I didn't even respond. I just turned and I walked away. I thought, "Oh, good God."
Yeah.
You know,
You're not going into a store and finding ice melting snow here. Or salt. You're not finding it. It's
I
not.
couldn't believe it. I literally
Right.
couldn't believe it.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
And when growing up in Ohio and in Iowa, it's like it's 3 foot of snow. You're going to school. You're having recess.
Yeah.
It's like you're going outside. We're locking the doors.
So I'll tell you all a good story. When I was probably in 5th or 6th grade. So this would have been, let me see.
78.
No, this would have been early 80s, like 82, 83.
That was a good one too.
We had a huge snowstorm. Okay. So we're out. I was in grade school. And at DC, I know I was laughing in his picture too. And a bunch of us, there had to have been like 20 of us that all started pushing a snowball, and we made this huge monstrous snowball. And on the side of the school, there was a little grade that went down to a 2-lane street. Well, we got too close to that grade, and this huge
Right down the hill.
this huge snowball rolled down into the street, and it blocked the road. The city, our principal was pissed. The city had to send a plow truck to go and push it, and then they were having a hard time, so they had to literally bust the snowball up and unblock this city street.
Wow.
God.
Like people here, if it snows, if we get that ½ inch of snow or something like that every 10 years, they'll build snowmans, and then everything will melt, and you'll just see the snowman still in the yard, right? Because it's so dense compared to everything else.
Back in 1978, we had a blizzard come through,
Oh, I remember those.
and we got 3 feet of snow. It got down to 25 below, and it never got above 0 for 30 days.
Yeah. I'll tell another story that Ian will crack up at this, and I still remember to this day, I still remember the girl's name. Her name was Amy Kish. And it was before the Christmas Story movie came out. And there was a bunch of us kids that dared this girl to stick her tongue on the fence post. and she did. And she was literally stuck. And then there's all of us, the boys, and we're all cracking up laughing. Well, the principal, Mr. Foley, I still remember all the names. He come down, of course, screamed at us like crazy. And he grabs her
It rips,
pulls her, and it ripped the tip of her tongue off. Ooh. And you see it in the snow. Drips of blood going back up to the school.
Well,
we were dying.
When I lived in Iowa as a kid, you know, when the fresh snow hits, right? What do you see on the snow? Like rabbit poop, right? The little brown rabbit droppings. So me and my younger sister had this kid, and we're like, oh yeah, that's just root beer that's frozen in the snow. And we got this kid eating rabbit shit, excuse my French, out of the snow. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to hell for that one.
Oh my.
Brad had to come back on to laugh at that one.
He did.
That's too funny, man.
Oh my.
That's the chocolate covered almonds.
Exactly.
He's eating a rabbit droppings out of the backyard.
I gotta go refill my vintage 1972.
Yeah, I got to refill mine too.
Here, hang
Well,
on.
let's take a break. How about intermission music?
You know what?
And I'm
You know what my screensaver is?
Charlie. I'm gonna get off and jump on my computer when I get back.
Maybe
All right,
we
I'll
have
let
a
you back in,
commercial we
Tom.
can run.
That right there is show enough.
Show enough, Shogun. That's Bruce Leroy. Where's Bruce Leroy? Let's see you need on there.
Did Tom check out? I thought
Oh, he said he's going to switch to his computer and come
Oh,
back.
oh,
But yeah, you know, it was a different time when we were kids, for sure. So,
Oh yeah, kid with his tongue stuck on a fence pole or something that was a weekly occurrence when I was growing up. So, yeah, it was.
I'll tell you what, I was amazed when I drove up to Canada to visit my cousin, and I had a 1988 Mustang, so that tells you the time frame, and it was new. And he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go out to the fishing shanty." I'm like, "Cool, let's go out to the fishing shanty." And he's like, "Oh, just turn here," and we start driving, you know. And he's like, "Yep, there it is." I'm like, "Well, what do you mean fishing shanty? Where's the water?" He's like, "You're parked on it." I'm like, drove my car out on the lake. I'm like,
There,
this is like a brand new Mustang. You know, what are we doing on the lake? Oh, well, we're gonna shoot some guns and fry some fish. You know, I'm like, oh, well, cool. Drink some Labatt's and, you know, Bob's your uncle, as Brad says.
Bob's your uncle.
And, you know, it's amazing
Oh, yeah.
how that's taken off. That Bob's your uncle.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to get texts that say Uncle Bob. I'm like, that's not who I'm not Uncle Bob. but now I'm, you know, we got King Bob, Bob Binney, and now I'm Uncle Bob is what I'm getting text. Uncle Bob, look, check this picture out. I'm like,
Uncle Bob.
you started a whole thing, man. I'm like,
Sorry, buddy. Uncle Bob.
I ran out of simple syrup,
Uh-oh.
so this one here has a honey stick.
it has complicated syrup in it.
No, it has a honey stick squirt into it.
I lived in Cedar Rapids, Wes. I was a
I've been
Cedar
there.
Rapids.
I've been there a few times. So where in Canada did you go?
Rice Lake.
Drive on the lake.
Rice Lake in Ontario.
Northwest Ontario.
Roseneath.
That's Northwest Ontario.
Near Roseneath. So my mom's sister, or half sister, married a Native American, a Native Canadian. I don't know, Native North American, whatever you want to call it.
Did you say Roseneath?
Roseneath, yeah,
Well, that's Peterborough. It
yeah.
doesn't get cold there.
Well, not compared to you. I mean,
That's-
I think of you remember the Rudolph where it had the heat miser and the snow miser?
Yes.
I think of Brad and Ian kind of like the snow misers, right? Everything you touch turns to snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, surprised that would even freeze there.
Oh yeah, it was frozen solid.
We're not going to
Well-
talk to Ian though after January
After January, why?
because he got an invite from Americans to come back down to this Bee Expo thing, and he looked at it and he was like, "Eh."
Well, you know, he probably learned his lesson after the first one.
Exactly.
His first aid kit probably like, I'm good for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah. So
All right, I got to go get another.
Tex.
What's up, Blaine?
So what's happening, Brad? Anything different from
Oh.
yesterday?
Cooler weather, a little bit rainy. Worked in the honey house a lot today. Got the last bit of the honey out of the machines and started washing things down and paled up the last 550 pounds out of the melter, and so ready to move on to the next stage. Got my comb honey packed yesterday, which was really nice. Get that little job out of the way.
Hey,
Looking at about 200 trays, so that's really
You'll
good.
get my care package in probably about
Hey,
2
Blaine.
weeks. It'll probably be crystallized.
Well, I'm really good at melting honey, so that's all right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so that's that's about all that was going on here. Nothing too exciting.
Well, on that swarm I caught on Friday the 13th, I gave it. It took the quart size 3 pounds of honey down in like in 4 days since the 13th,
Wow.
and now I just gave it 2 to 1. And on Tuesday, I'm going to inspect them for the first time. See if it's got a queen and how they look. I mean, besides me putting them in the hive. So
Do you have
I'll try to
time
make
to
a
get them
video
built
of that.
up? Think you have time to get them built up to where they'll make it through the winter?
Well, right now I've given them two 7 pounds of sugar bricks, 3 pounds of honey, and now a gallon of 2 to 1. So that's about all I'm going to give them.
Well, I'm just curious if she'll start laying to where she actually has some brood that hatches out to propel them into spring.
Yeah, that's what I really want to check on Tuesday.
Todd's still
Hopefully
dropping
I find a
gangs
frame.
over there.
That one's for Brian's latest comment.
We're from the north side.
That's right. That's right.
Santa's bringing gifts.
No, there's no passing out right here, Ian. Yeah.
We can go for that.
Last time we did a Saturday night VIP drink session, I ended up having to take the next week off of work.
Yeah, you did. You
That
did.
That's a true story. That's not a fallacy there. That's true.
That's no lie. No exaggeration.
And
That was
Yeah.
brutal.
I'm drinking
then I made
today
the
is
mistake
actually
of-
non-alcoholic,
I've
I
got-
made
so I'm good.
hey, Charlie, put Tom and I together. We got to clink drinks.
I don't know how to do that.
You
Drag 'em.
Drag
Here,
it up,
here we go, Tom. We're clinking them on Brad's head.
Drag it up. No, 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 no.
Oh,
No, no, no,
Charlie,
Charlie, no.
over here.
I'm getting dizzy.
the
Todd,
Oh,
okay, Todd
no.
can take it.
Now
In the
Todd's getting clinked.
the bad thing, and I've also mixed a drink in a Monster, and we've gotten off, and I've went and forgot it was mixed and took it in and put it on my nightstand. So all night long, I'm like waking up thirsty and drinking,
There you are.
just
There you
keeping
go.
my perpetual buzz going.
Take a,
We're
It's
clinking.
about.
You got to do
the
it.
other way.
Yeah.
There you
Pass
go.
it
There
up.
you go. Down,
Oh, that's-
over,
that's
over,
Further. No.
That almost
further,
looks like
further
water
back.
over
Tom,
in your cup.
over that way. Further,
Todd's got
further.
a different perspective.
Come on, you got to clink it.
Or this way. One of the.
There you
go. Keep
go.
going. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep
No,
on going
no,
over,
sideways,
over, over.
Good enough.
Sideways.
I don't like Todd
Sideways.
going up.
Now you know why we had called it short
Oh.
bus beekeeping.
Yeah,
Oh man.
that's how
I got a lot of
engineers do it.
comments on that last night too. Great topic, you know.
What's up,
Alex.
How's Alex? Hey, Alex.
How are you guys doing?
Good, good.
Nice.
Good. Get rowdy. That's
No,
okay.
we're not.
Oh, so
That's
just
all
so
right.
you know, Brad, Bob added to his monster drink. Just so you know.
Not yet. Not this
Oh,
time.
you did earlier.
Yeah, but I got to drink this down because I learned that lesson
No,
the hard
no,
way.
no,
All of
drink.
the stuff sat right on top, and I was like taking shots last time. So
We
I
need to
don't
get
do that
another
no
Canadian in here.
another one. We got
Well,
two.
We're getting
Maybe a
overrun.
Canadian that does a beekeeper's blog, perhaps. We need to get
the
somebody
score
in
is
here.
4-3 right now.
Well,
Mm.
you know, there's certain Brad, there's
No.
certain Canadians that run
I-
these Canadian blogs that it's they got to contact like their publicist and their booking agent and stuff, and they're like, they're sitting.
No, Brian, I was talking about Ian.
They're drinking their they're drinking their Kraken. He's over in the shed looking around the corner drinking his Kraken.
Making sure his wife's not coming. To,
He's like,
You guys are the epitome of subtlety.
the the ones that have to call their publicist. I wasn't talking about Phil. I was talking about Ian.
Oh, right.
He's gonna come down on me talking smack.
Oh man, look, Randy. I'm not even going to say what Randy just said.
Window lickers. Actually, it says window likers. I like my
Yes,
windows.
Likers.
It
Yeah,
could
I like
be bad
that
to be not have them in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I like windows. They keep me warm in the winter.
Man.
So talking about window lickers, this is a
Yes, window likers.
well, I know what he's talking about though.
Oh my.
So, I get a call at work that says, "Hey, we're hearing noises in the attic. Can you come take a look at it?" I'm like, "Sure, I can." And I get over there. I said, "Well, first thing," and I'm talking to the customer, "First thing, we need to figure out how they get into your house. That's the most important thing. Killing them's not a problem, but you got to stop them from being able to get in, right?" And I go up in the attic, and they got a sunroof. It's like a big hole in the attic. And all right, this is for mature audiences only. And then there's like a mummified squirrel sitting over to the side in the attic, right? Sitting on a nice 1988 box there. And I'm like, "Well, what you need, ma'am, is a roofer, not a pest control technician."
Wow.
Okay, well, we'll call a roofer and see if we can get that fixed. I said, "I'm pretty sure if you fix the roof, your pest problem will go away."
Yeah.
And
And your porn collection will get rained on.
yeah, and your Sherlock homing video won't get.
I just saw
That's the true title on one of the boxes I saw.
I'll take that as payment.
Yeah,
Brian just said on there, I want to do spiced rum barrel infused honey. I just bought today a 5-gallon bourbon barrel. It was used. It's a used 5-gallon bourbon barrel, so it should be here next week. And then I'm going to try and let it go a year, but I'm going to do a bourbon barrel infused honey.
go out there and like 12
That's awesome.
years,
Good,
right?
Brian.
Special label, 12-year reserve, special
Exactly.
stock, and you sell it in blocks because it's going to be so crystallized. You can just cut it with a chainsaw. You'd be like, "Here's your block of special honey."
I won't care. But yeah, no, and the only thing that made me do it is I took 6 pounds up to my brother yesterday, and he had said a local commercial guy up near him just advertised that they have bourbon barrel infused honey, and they're selling it for $20-some a pound. And I thought,
nice.
$20-some a pound. I thought, let me go in and see how much a bourbon barrel cost me. So I got a bourbon barrel with shipping coming to the house for $136. And I thought, if I put 5 gallons in it, 60 pounds, I mean, that's $1,200 for a bourbon barrel. I thought,
See, Alex, there's another business model for you, my friend.
yeah,
You can put that bourbon barrel where your TV used to be.
Have you learned to sleep standing up yet, Alex?
And you can stand it up and you can put your phone charger on top of it.
Right.
see, he just mutes himself. He's like, I'm done with this.
Keep it warm. Keep that barrel warm, Brian, and then it won't granulate so fast, and it'll.
So is the
draw you
bourbon
more of
and
that
the
I'll
barrel.
stick with
in
fruit flavored
wood
honeys.
And then you
Keep
can
it nice and warm.
put it in the little bourbon bottles, right? Like the little flask.
I'll have
Shot
to-
bottles.
in
Nice.
all honesty, so the inside of the barrel, Charlie, is charred,
Yeah.
and then it sat for however long with the bourbon, so you end up getting a bourbon flavor. But in all honesty, I should get glass bottles and really make them nice and put nice labels on them, and
Oh, number 7, right?
exactly. And I literally
Number
just to make it feel special. special, I should like number them like 1 of 60, 2 of 60, and boom, people
Sure.
get the whoozy go to like the fancy markets, and
But
get
when,
the what's
when you run into Brian at Flower Street, he'll be at the fancy schmancy market there.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Better look into regulations. Well, you're not actually adding anything to the honey.
No, I'm just
You're just storing it. And if it should just so happen to get a bourbony flavor to it, well,
You get a flavor but no alcohol. So
That's
Right.
it.
no
That's
deal.
it.
No big deal.
Yeah.
be mine. I'd put mine in there and it'd turn into honey jack or something. It'd be too much moisture in the air and it would ferment. Next thing I got.
The place that I got the barrel from, they literally they had used barrels from like whiskey, all the different types of booze. I wanted to get bourbon just because bourbon, it's like the new craze, So, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, a year from now, however it turns out, if it turns out good, I'll probably do, 2 or so. Might as well. I mean, if you can make extra cash.
Do they have the smaller kegs, like the 2-gallon keg or whatever it is? You know what I'm talking about, like a pony keg.
So I've seen. It's hard to find them, but I've seen 1 gallon, and then they go from 1 to 5, and then from 5 I've seen 15. So it's like they're like kind of big jumps.
How would you keep that warm in a wooden barrel? That'd be a
I'd
question.
probably use one of those heating pads to use for growing plants and wrap it around.
So I tell you, if you put the bee blanket that goes around a 5-gallon bucket, I would bet if you wrap that bugger around it and just left it on there for 2-3 weeks,
would work.
Or an immersion heater.
I bet it would heat, because it's going to heat the wood, and then that'll heat it
And
up.
that bee blanket is not going to get too hot for the honey. It'll
Nope.
keep it really. It'll just keep it
And
perfect.
then maybe it'll make the bourbon go into the honey better.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You'll keep it liquid, maintain that hygroscopic nature of the honey.
So what I just learned here is that I'm going to keep my bee blanket plugged in, because in January I'm getting my heated bottling tank anyway, so I don't need the bee blanket. So the bee blanket's going to go around the bourbon barrel, and then next year I can even charge up to like $25 a pound. I'll be like, this is cutting edge bourbon barrel infused honey from techniques that were discussed amongst many beekeepers with hundreds of years of beekeeping experience.
You are the king of
There you
BS. I
go.
love it.
Brad, you see my eyes are very brown.
With a slight French influence.
Now you can call it Santa's Reserve and release it at Christmas time for
There
gifts.
you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
3 little Santa Clauses.
Three Santa's
You got to
bourbon
put the
honey.
3 Santas.
Yeah.
You have 3 Santas bourbon barrel honey. You got to put the 3 Santas on the label.
That might be it.
But you got to
Yeah,
use the old classic Coca-Cola Santa that they used to print out. If you could get that image without trademarking them.
I trademarked the 3 Santas, by the way, so you'll have to.
You trademarked 3 Santas?
Yeah, I trademarked the 3 Santas. So
Well, you're going to have to license it then, Brian.
Definitely. You're just like one of
I
those.
have to go with 3 L's then.
You're like these conferences; they'll trademark everything.
That's what Mark says. Hey, y'all, why would you put honey in a barrel? Why wouldn't you just add wood from a barrel to the honey and then just
that's
filter
true
it
too.
out?
You could do that too.
Yeah.
You can
I'm
do that
sure
when you make meat, for sure.
Yeah, that's what my brother had said. He's like, "Why don't you just buy like the bourbon barrel chunks and put them in it?" And I'm like, "Well, if I get the barrel, part of it is like for the looks, because I'll probably end up just cutting out of wood. I'll cut a little stand, and I'll probably set it somewhere back over here. That way, I can sit there and just stare at it instead of staring at a bucket with, wood floating in it. So
If you did it the other way, you couldn't call it Brian's bourbon barrel honey.
exactly.
You gotta have the
You gotta
barrel.
call it Brian's Bourbon Barrel Chunks Honey.
Yeah,
That's just not the same.
exactly. And true bourbon barrel honey is delivered to children across the world.
By the three
All in
Santas.
one night.
Yep. Yes. It's amazing how it's done. Oh yeah, Blaine. Lots of people
magical.
selling bourbon barrel honey out there. Yeah.
I saw
Look at that.
There's a friend of mine here in town's doing the same thing.
called double barrel honey.
Similar thing. Yeah.
I love the numbered jars. I just absolutely love that idea. The numbered jars.
That's a
Yeah,
good idea.
Brian just said Coper's cracking. I like that.
Crack. Yeah.
You couldn't put another K word after that though, because then people would probably look at me all weird.
Yeah. We'll just put that on the label, eh?
Yeah.
Coper's crazy cracking.
Actually, what you
The
should do is
KKK, honey.
you should contact Kraken and see if you could get a barrel from them, and then make
Get a
Kraken
Kraken
honey.
barrel.
Coper's
Kraken
cracking,
honey.
honey.
It'd be funny because if I put that on my website, I'd probably deliver all 60 pounds to a Canadian. I'd be delivering it to Stepler Farms. Like, what the heck is this guy doing with 60 pounds of Kraken honey?
That makes for a lot of coffee sweetening.
When I was younger,
Honey over coffee.
when I worked for Sam Adams as a process manager,
Oh,
I went down to Buffalo Trace and bought a barrel right off the line. It still had 30 gallons of honey in it. Then I put a 15% beer in it
Ooh.
and aged it. A black IPA, if anybody know what that is.
Yes.
And
Give me a
I
pale ale.
aged that for 3 months in it. Man, it was one wicked beer I
Wow.
made.
Tom, I wanna stop at Buffalo Trace after the expo.
Yeah, that's not too far away.
It's not that I've looked, but it's like an hour and 5 minutes away.
Yeah,
Depending on traffic.
Right, depending
I'm
on
only
traffic.
an hour and a half away from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Well, the casino's only 20 minutes away from the convention center. The
Wow.
Harrah's
So
up there.
yeah, I can get down there in less than an hour and a half if I push the limit a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, Philip.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
All right.
Mama's there too. Hey, Mama.
Hey,
Hey,
how y'all doing?
Good.
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 Enjoying that bourbon talk since I'm not drinking it this month. I get to hear about it at least. So, Brian, did you say a small bourbon bucket?
I got here, hang on 1 second.
5 gallon, he said.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Is that your printing outfit there?
Yeah, I was
printing.
printing queen excluders. Yeah, Philip, it's 5 gallon. It's a used bourbon barrel.
That's cool.
So, yeah. I mean, it's something else to tinker with. I mean, I'm not gonna like go on Shark Tank with my bourbon barrel honey.
I think you're probably like I think it was Blaine said, you're a little late to the party for that, for being the inventor of that, for sure.
Well, it's just around like my area. I don't see anybody with it. My brother found one person up near Cleveland, so it hasn't quite hit here yet. So, I mean, I could rush some and do it over the winter and just kind of open it up and taste it. And if it tasted kind of okay, I could bottle some in the spring, but I'll see how the market goes. But yeah, if I get really good bourbon, a bourbon taste in it, We'll see. I'll play around with it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, my competition at the market sells it. I actually bought a little bit from them, and it really does pick up that bourbon flavor.
Does it?
Yeah, it's good. It's really
Sure
good.
it does.
The market that I've been doing, there's one other honey seller there, and they sell their honey like way super for this area in Ohio. They sell it $1 an ounce. So they're selling like their 1 pound jars for $16. Their
That's
2
what-
pound jars they were selling for $30. Me, I sell mine at the market. The person's probably pissed, but I sell mine for $12 and then 20 for 2. So, and there were times I had a line of people lined up as I'm running cards through, you know, and a couple people said, "Oh, you need to raise your prices," and I said, "Why?" You know, I'm
Well-
making money. You know,
If you run out though, you're going to wish you raised them.
well, yeah. I mean, I still have enough that I can do a couple markets, so I still have like 8 or 9 buckets in the basement.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
I still have enough.
Yeah.
So
I have this sort of the same result. My competition was selling theirs in a plastic bottle, $16 for a pound, and don't think they were quite 30 for 2 pounds, but it was close to it. But
wow.
I sell mine 13 and a half ounces for $14, which is more for the honey, but mine are in a glass jar, so they're making more money on their honey than I am because my
Yeah.
jar and everything are cost me like $2 or $2.50.
Right.
But
I got to raise my prices. I sell my glass for pound for 15 and my plastic pound for 14.
Wow.
well, that's pretty
Yeah.
close. But
I'm in the middle. Yeah.
I do sell my Richland honey. It's 15 ounces instead of 13 and a half, and I still sell it for 14. So,
Hmm.
you know, I like to have this, and I have a larger jar. My Capel honey is 28 ounces. I sell it for 26, and my Richland honey is 32 ounces, 2 full pounds, and I sell it also for 26.
Oh wow. You know,
So-
that's a good idea there, Todd. Whiskey shaped bottles off of Amazon. If I had little whiskey shaped 1 pound bottles and had bourbon barrel honey in them little oh man, would number each
Look good.
one.
Bob
And
was
then
the
I
Bob was
could
the one
even
that said that to me.
what's the liquor that they wax seal the top? I could even get
Maker's Mark.
beeswax.
Maker's
Yes.
Mark.
Yeah.
I could even get beeswax and seal each top. Oh,
And then
I
then
can
you
sell it
could,
for
get,
$30.
you could just get you a signet ring to print you out the little round thing to put on there as a seal, right?
Just
20
look up whiskey bottles on Amazon. There's
yeah.
different shapes.
$25 a pound for those.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
Green honey sells pretty high too. Like 10 ounces gets me $10.
wow.
Well, it's
Hey,
flavored honey.
hey, Brian, keep an eye on how much you're selling because I was like you at the beginning. I had about 8 5-gallon buckets, and I'm down to my last 2 in 3 months. So it goes pretty fast. And some of that's jarred, so I'll be out in another month and a half for
Yeah.
other stuff. But I'm going to be collecting some fall honey, so that'll carry me a little further.
Oh, that's good. I do have to watch though too because next Tuesday there's a coffee shop that's actually opening up in the area, and I didn't know this, but they had bought honey at the market from me, and then they emailed me afterwards and they said, "Hey, we tried your honey from the market. We would love to carry your honey in our coffee shop. They're opening up sometime in November, so next Tuesday." I'm going over to their shop and going to sit down with the 2 owners and just discuss, some details. Hey, what they're interested in and stuff like that. So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
I have a good idea of what you want to charge them when you go in because I have 2 places that are doing that for mine, and I sell it to them at 75. I get 75%. I get 25% of retail.
Yeah.
And it's all,
I do 70-30 typically.
well,
Okay.
they both jumped at that deal. So,
I was thinking I was thinking something around that range. I don't know what they have in mind. So, but I'm going to take in some of my fall honey, just a little taster, and, I'll take in some honey sticks and stuff.
I did. I did mine on consignment. So they're not just, well, a restaurant is buying the cakes, but they're just going to use it in their product. But
Yeah.
the place it's a bodega is selling my honey, and it's all consignment. And I think I have to do that in Texas because it really has to be direct from me. They're just a location that I sell it in, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
All right, I got a picture from Blaine from Texas Beekeeper. I'm going to add to show this. Let's see if I can get it to come up. No. It's right there.
I don't see it.
I know you don't.
Blackout whiskey. That's what happened.
That's it.
It won't come up.
I need another vintage 1972.
Are you emptying your bourbon barrel personally?
I have. I started about 2 years ago on the bourbon kick, and I have 20 some bottles of bourbon in the house. So there's no way that I'm going to empty it. But
I need to come see you.
tonight's just one of those nights that it's been a long week, and then the info that I got earlier today just kind of topped it off. So. And I'm using moonshine cherries in with the bourbon. So Brad made me do it.
Brad does that?
I made you do it.
Yep. It was peer pressure. He emailed me and he's like, I dare you to put moonshine cherries in with your drink.
Dare you.
Have you tried the moonshine pickles?
No.
They're awesome.
Have you tried the moonshine bourbon?
I've not.
No.
So Old Smoky, if you go into Old Smoky down in Gatlinburg, down that area,
all over down there.
You can buy all kinds of moonshine, everything.
Yeah, Dan says pop open the Pappy. I don't have cash like that. I know what Pappy's is. Yeah.
Well, in Ohio, you can buy a license. It used to be $90. I'm sure now it's 110 or 120, where you can make 50 gallons of any proof that you want. So if you know what you're doing, you can make 197 proof.
Yeah.
Then cut it in half, and you have 100 gallons of roughly just under 50%.
There's a buddy of mine that used to be a beekeeper. That's his new thing. His wife got ticked because his bees were really mean, and the final straw was when his wife and daughter walked out of the garage, and they both got lit up. And his colonies were 60, 70 feet from the garage, so she was like, "It's either you get rid of them or you're gone." So he got rid. I think it was after his third year, anyways. He got rid of his colonies. But that's his new thing. He's been tinkering with distilling, so he's kind of getting it figured out. He said it's a lot more difficult than what you would think, but he's got it all kind of figured. And he told me when he gets his first good batch, he's going to let me know. So
I used to sell them. I had a store, beer, wine, and tea, and moonshine.
Oh wow!
When I was younger.
Yeah, I gotta refill, but I have a honey jar right here. That's
All right, I'm gonna try this again. See if this comes up. No, I got a picture, but it.
Huh.
Good.
I don't know. Can't get it up.
Oh, there's a joke in there somewhere, but I won't go there.
Yeah. See,
We had the
Yeah.
same idea.
Ding.
It's show enough just for Brad. Brad in a former life, that's a picture of me.
Oh, is that right? I wasn't sure what that
You had
was.
lots of hair there, Brian.
I did, yeah. It moved from my face to my head.
Lane said he's going to see if he can send it to Bob. I think Bob went to check the mailbox.
Hey, he disappeared like
I don't know. I got the
Probably did.
picture here, but every time I click, and it shows it in the bottom, but every time I click on it, it comes up dark for some reason. I don't know why.
I might have to call you, Mr. Mark.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim, Hannah.
Little swap here. I could send some honey your way. And you could send me a little airplane bottle of that stuff my way. That's probably what it'd work out to value-wise.
But Brad, the flavored honey, it's definitely better than just plain old honey. People like the landlord paid some guy to repaint the bathroom because upstairs neighbor had a leak and the roof had started caving in, so he had the whole thing remade. And I told the guy, look, try my honeys. And he goes, what's this? Cinnamon honeys. And the guy's eyes just lit up. That exists? And he took for
That's
25
awesome.
bucks of it. So
Lock them in, man.
Good.
That's great. That's great to hear. Thanks for sharing that.
well, thank you.
Uh,
So did
Well,
he
you
buy
put it in
some,
motion, my
Alex?
Oh yeah.
Good. That's the way it is. That's what you do. Just kind of suck them in.
Yeah,
I-
the squeeze bottles really help. So because people know what to expect when they buy it.
I've been really selling my honey for the last couple days. One of the big YouTubers that does walks all
Hey,
over the
Randy.
greater Ohio Valley, Tennessee area bought some of my honey and posted it all over on her blog site. So
cool.
So now,
now everybody's
Alex,
running it.
isn't your crystal or cream honey in like a jar that you have to spread it like butter?
It's set kind of soft. It's more like caramel, like like your
So
jar
you can squeeze it out?
with a difficulty. Yes, it's kind of thick because it's creamed, but
Yeah.
somehow Basswood
I
honey.
mean, I thought when you bottled it, or you would put it in a jar where they could spoon it out or take a knife and dig it out and put it on toast.
No,
or whatever.
they're in like a ketchup, transparent squeeze bottles.
Okay.
All right, so
The rooster.
all right, so I've gotten the photos from multiple people about the bourbon bottle.
Yeah, that's it. How did you get it to come up?
I would like to say I'm a technical genius. However, I'm not. I just shared the screen, the whole entire screen. So that's Blaine's.
That's nice.
And then also I've got some photos here from Hail Hives.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're Blaine's. There's Hail Hives, yeah.
Okay,
That's nice.
looks good.
Eagle Hive Select, and he's got the
I like that.
ring.
It is nice.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Single Hive Select. I like that.
I need to get something fancy like that going.
Who's Greg Dunn, Randy?
Hey, Randy,
Hey,
the
Doug.
Dirt Rooster's on here.
Hey,
Yep.
Randy, you'll have to call me. I'll be down there in Mississippi the first week in November. So we'll have to try to link up. Because I really want to meet Pete. I've already met you.
I just want to meet Randy.
Hey, Doug.
Hello.
What's happening up in Canada, Doug?
Hey, Doug.
I can't tell you, Charlie. I'm in Memphis.
Oh,
Oh.
dear.
Eating some
Well,
Memphis barbecue.
Yeah.
I want to see you go see Elvis's place.
I've been. That's where I am right now.
You're
How
a
is
great
he?
fan.
Graceland Hotel.
Oh.
Guest house. Pardon me.
I thought you were at Elvis's place. Oh, no, he is.
He's next door.
Just don't use that toilet because I heard it's a killer.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me check it out. I've been watching for beehives on the trip down here, and I haven't seen one yet.
Well, go see Gus.
Yeah, Gus Mitchell's over there, right?
Yeah,
Isn't-
Brian.
Oh, is he over there?
but so is Mark Miller's near Memphis, isn't he?
He's
Brian's
on the west side.
over there too.
He's on the west side of the state. He's closer to Gus. I think.
Randy, I just text you.
It's a long way from Memphis.
Elvis is groundkeeper there. That's
Nice weather here anyway.
it's in the mid 70s probably.
And we hit just about 80 today.
Oh.
I would love 80 degrees right now.
We hit 60 today, but it would be sunny for an hour, then rain for a little bit. Sunny, then rain all day long.
Well, when I went outside, I could actually see my breath. That's how cold it is here right now.
I think
It's
it's
85 here right now.
It's so funny hearing you Americans complain about the cold.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't complain. I
Oh,
said I could see my breath. There's a difference. Now I would have normally had a video.
Romantics.
Well, just think in February, you'll be whining about how cold it is up there. And I can't believe your bees are out working and they're brooding up. And I'll be like, see, remember that comment you said about the cold?
Yep.
Then you say, but aren't
But the
those
thing is,
political
Canadian
colonies?
cold is worth complaining about.
Do what? What'd you say?
Canadian cold is worth complaining about.
What bucket warmer
Bee
did we
blanket, BC.
recommend? Anybody?
I recommend
I
bee
use
blanket.
I use a pizza warmer.
Well, maybe you could build anything you want, but you know, if you're looking for a thing just to put on a pail, that's what I'm talking about.
a bucket of that. Yeah.
I mean,
What's
I
the
built one
brand
that
name?
holds 600 pounds of honey, and I like it, but you know, that's probably not what you want.
Yeah. I've never used one, so I don't know.
Brian uses it.
I have
Yeah,
the
you
bee
have one.
blanket. The bee blanket, I got it off. Well, I didn't get it off Amazon. My wife did as a gift, but it works good. But I'll tell you one thing. DC's asking there what bucket to get the honey. Like if it's a truly filled 5-gallon bucket, it's going to take that joker probably 2 days to really get good. You know, it does work pretty darn good though, because it you know, it's not taking it to a super high temperature, so you're not killing the honey. It's just a slow warming process. But that bee blanket, it works pretty darn good. Yeah.
You wouldn't want it to get hot any faster than that, I don't think.
He's got
No, the
warmers
bee
from the
blanket. The
dairy
nice thing
company.
is gentle on the honey is what the bee blanket's really nice about. It's gentle. You're not going to ruin your honey with a bee blanket. I've said before that I've used mine and I've actually had to wrap it with towels and stuff just to help it warm the honey a little better, a little faster.
Has
But I'd
anybody,
rather have that than something that's going to scorch my honey.
yeah. Has anybody used those metal bands that heat?
Yeah, I have one of those too. And that sucker will burn right through the side of the pail if you don't watch it. So if you want to,
Yeah,
if
there's
you want to
some
heat
people in
something
my
fast,
club. It melted the
use that
pail.
thing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it says right on the product. It says, "Do not leave this thing unattended," because it literally, I kind of tested it and I kind of thought, oh, I wonder what's going to happen, and sure enough, it burned right through the pail.
Just think if they would have put that warning on the tote.
Wow.
Don't use plastic
Yeah, but-
fittings on your tote.
Yeah.
Brad,
Don't leave unattended.
Brad, if you had used that in America, though, just because of the conversion, the temperature wouldn't have been as high, so it wouldn't have burned through the tote.
Oh, I understand now how that works.
See?
It was 100 F, not 100 C.
Exactly.
And it's Canadian degrees, so it's only 70% as hot as the American degrees.
Exactly. When you set it up and you set that thing there, did you look at it and you say, now don't you overheat, eh?
Eh? Because I'm going hunting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. Vintage.
Has any water to melt their honey?
Hmm?
Anybody use a water bath?
Water bath, he said.
Bath.
I
I've
have
used it in the past.
not for
Yeah,
big.
I've used it like a.
I mean, it works. I mean, I had an old canner my mother had, and it had a wooden slatted rack in the bottom of it, so the water gets all around the bottom of the bucket. Oh, it'll work. You just have to be there to stir it and not overheat it. And I finally got a heated bottling tank, which works wonderful.
We melt barrels in water. That's what we do. We had a stainless steel tub. We put a barrel in, and it'll
Wow.
24 hours a barrel.
So, what do you put fire underneath the water tank?
No, just the electric heater that goes into the water.
Oh, okay, submerging heater, yeah.
Yeah, and then it melts it where we can pump it in the bottling. It's easy to.
Your sound's cutting bad, Doug.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out, Doug. Well, we can.
Oh, okay. Probably poor connection here at the hotel, probably.
Right.
Yeah, last year, a friend of mine said, Tom, you want this pizza warmer? And I said, I think I could use it. And I could put 4 or 5 gallon buckets in it. I really bought it for queen rearing, so I could put shelves of queens in, so I can go whole banks at a time. So I use it for both. When I want to, during the middle of winter time, when my barn's getting cold, I just put it in there, heat up 4 buckets. Then I put it in my heated bottling bucket, and off we go. Made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Best thing, I paid $0 for it. Just had to drive and pick it up. And that was only like 15 minutes, 20 minutes away. Yeah, it was the right price.
That's not bad.
I had one market where it was a little cooler. I don't know, 60 degrees, and I noticed it was a lot harder to serve tastings. You know, it's hard to get the honey out of the squeeze jars when it gets cold. I don't know what I'm gonna do if it really gets cold.
Yeah.
You have to have a little warming cabinet there for it. Keep it in.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to do a water bath for it, but you know, I do have electricity if I need it there. But then people are thinking you're heating your honey, and that gives you a bad name.
Yeah. I like that. Look at this. It looks like I'm sitting right in like a hive.
In the beehive.
Exactly.
You were
You
communing
can
with
turn right around there and
pollen.
suck some honey out.
Oh my, I'll just stop.
Oh my.
Charlie's got a message me after this. You're like, Brian, we enjoyed having you on, but at the end it got kind of weird there. So
Good night, Lee. Oh, we're having fun.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've been pretty
Yeah.
quiet.
Good time.
What's that, Tom?
I said, you've been quiet.
Me?
Yeah.
I ain't got much to really talk about. I mean, my hives are shutting down for the winter. I got 3 more top hive feeders to pull off as soon as they suck the sugar water down, and I guess the next thing I'll start doing is OA vaping them next month, a couple times.
Yeah.
a week.
I'm just feeding a little bit more.
Yeah, I got them to the point where they all started to stop feeding, and I was been leapfrogging the super hive feeders, and the SERP from the full hives to the ones that are still taking it down. So I'm down to only 3 hives right now, which has been good. Everything's been washed and put away so far. Sugar tank's been washed, and the mixing tank's been washed, and all that stuff. And I mean, weather-wise, it's not really been severely cold. It's been pretty warm and all, and all that. So it's well, right now it's 57. It's raining a little bit. It's supposed to clear off tomorrow and then get windy. So the bees probably won't be flying much tomorrow or anything. Like, hey, thank you, Catherine, and all that. I wanted to say hi to Kim. I think came in here a little bit ago from Illinois, and all. Not the peanut butter flavored might be strong, but just add a little. Yeah, I'm waiting. Carl, he's going to be sending me some peanut butter flavored creamed honey. Thank you, Brian.
I need to stir my batch right now. Well, after this. No.
Yeah, Kim, there we are. That's good. How's things in Illinois? But Bob, I'm going to get some of his at their peanut butter honey he got.
It's good stuff. Real good stuff.
I don't know whether to do cinnamon or peanut butter first.
I think cinnamon sells a little better. At least over here it does.
Yeah.
But you might want to try make a bigger cinnamon batch, make a smaller peanut butter batch.
Just make a small test.
They sell.
Yeah, make a small test batch, Alex. Yeah.
Oh,
Anything
Peanut
that's
butter's easier because you don't have to cream it. It's just get the peanut butter powder and mix it up.
All right, we got a goofball here. Anybody want to hit Roy for me?
I will.
Oh, geez.
He's gone. He's not on.
Huh?
I just got him.
I can't get him on my phone. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, peanut butter honey is very delicious. I made some a while back. It's really nice. Really good.
Charlie, I got him.
All
I
right,
used
good.
to eat peanut butter
Thank you,
honey
Juan.
all the time as a kid. It's really it's so good.
Ed,
No, just like a spoonful of honey is enough for a day for me now. I'm not as big on sugar as I was.
Mm.
did you see the questionnaire from Kim, Bob?
Hmm.
I would say so.
Yes. Yes, you may. I'm
So it's your
a piece
is
of
that
land.
Bob,
current background, Tom.
Bob, I'm
Yeah,
staying
I'm messing
quiet.
around with it.
What'd you say, Brian?
I'm staying quiet.
Brian's upscale there.
He's at Yappy's
Uh,
place.
Oh, look
is
at
that
that!
it?
It hides my drink. Look at that! I hold it over there and it
There
disappeared.
you go.
Look at that.
That's so good. Bring back the drink, Brian. Oh, there you go. Don't want your drink to disappear.
Hey, Lisa, I think 80% of the just nuts come from your area.
Nuts.
Lisa said 80% of the peanuts came from her area, and I would say that applies to just plain nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Alabama, right?
So if Lisa goes into an Aldi's, would they be Aldi's nuts?
Wow.
I need to
Brian,
get,
no,
I need-
no, Brian, no, Brian.
I need to get on the same bourbon wave list as man.
I could tell you a really funny story. When I used to play semi-competitive professional soccer, we were
What
sponsored
the hell
by a
is
house of a million.
semi-competitive?
We were sponsored by the House of a Million
Liberal
Screws,
soccer.
with the hardware store, and the league didn't like our name, so we changed our name to the Nads,
The Ned.
and they were okay with that.
Oh my!
I think we drove off the road into the ditch. We need to get back on the road.
But the ditch is so much
Hey.
fun.
Tom
Yeah,
doesn't get to drive anymore.
That's what we always said. Yeah, I was real careful driving home. I used both lanes and both ditches.
Yes.
Hey, Doug, we didn't cover this. Why are you in Memphis?
Why not? Just holiday.
Well, I'm not saying why not. It's just, is it a vacation? Is it just a fun trip or what?
Yeah, just a holiday.
Good. Good for you. You work hard enough.
Good.
So what are
I
you, an
wish I could
Elvis
take a
fan?
holiday.
Jeez.
That's in Walmart here.
These
awesome.
nuts.
They're a little spicy and a little ranchy. Ranch sriracha.
Nuts.
These nuts.
That's salty, I bet.
That's awesome.
Really?
I do a mean Elvis at karaoke, Doug.
I can imagine.
Well, thank you very much.
You all,
Thank you.
I am gonna bounce off of here in a second.
I think you might roll more so.
You'd
You
have
will
more
get hurt,
fun
that's for
later.
sure.
You should
I
stick around
appreciate it.
with the fun. The fun will really begin soon.
Yeah, I appreciate the chat, Charlie. Thank you.
So, Brian, I'm glad you came on tonight. I know you're feeling down, and
Yeah,
we're all here for you and everybody who's in the chat,
Yes.
and
I appreciate it.
and all that. And I welcome you back anytime, any Friday night or whatever.
Oh, I know.
And,
Come on Wednesday nights.
Come on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, you're not doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't do anything on Wednesdays. Yeah,
and all that, but no, don't
Yeah.
See, and they all think it's me that talks it. It's not me. It's every. They're
yeah. No, I appreciate
They're
it.
Bob
running
hasn't
me.
been saying much at all.
they're running
Good
me
night,
off.
Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really
You
good to
guys-
see you, Brian. I really appreciate
Yeah.
you coming.
Yeah, I'm glad
Guys.
you're hanging out with the.
you guys all take care. Have a good night, and
Be well, Brian.
yeah,
Nice to you, brother.
I'll talk to you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll see.
Brian.
Well, take care, man.
All right, we'll see you, buddy.
All the best.
So there's a piece of land that popped up in my
Oh, there we go.
suggestions.
How many
What-
acres?
7.
What'd you say, Philip?
What's that?
I say, did you have a question?
No,
No.
I was wondering what was going on with Brian because I joined late, but I wasn't going to make
Um,
sure he has something.
Brian's younger brother passed away.
Oh,
He,
Jesus Christ.
what was he? 30 years old.
39 years old.
39. So that's
Hmm.
why
My goodness.
Brian popped in and
He was in rough shape.
try to take care of him, cheer him up as best as we can.
Wow.
Make him laugh a couple times.
That's terrible.
So anyway, but so you're down on vacation, Doug?
Yeah.
So you came to Memphis to see Elvis's house and all that stuff?
Yeah, we're on a tour, so we're
Or
working.
what are you on a tour bus with a group?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
So
I
what
thought-
else are you gonna see? What else they gonna take and see? Let you look at on the tour?
We leave tomorrow for Branson. We'll spend 4 days.
Oh yeah.
All
Brandon,
right.
Doug-
Yeah, they have some nice shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Doug, is that a fairway tour?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's red and white out of Winnipeg.
Oh, I see. Used to drive for them. Not red and white, fairway,
Fairway. Oh, yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that should be fun to go to Branson. I was there one time. I was actually on a bus trip, but I was just on layover, so I went and got a hold of the bus company that was down there, and they took me to Branson for the day. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I want you to be my bus driver, Brad.
Oh yeah,
If I go on a trip, I want you to be my bus driver for sure.
yeah. That was a pretty fun job. That
You just think that styrofoam cup is just Fresca in there, but we know better.
I'll be sneaking it to him.
gotta have some Tanqueray, man.
Yeah.
That was a lifetime ago. That job.
I'll be sneaking it to you, Brad, because I'm a lot more fun when you drink.
I'm a lot more fun. So Brad and I had an incident today that I alluded to early in the chat, and we couldn't hear each other, but we were laughing so hard at the fact that we couldn't.
That was just crazy. Unbelievable.
So a lot of times Messenger through Facebook doesn't have a good connection all the time, right? And during the live streams, I mute my Facebook tab so I don't hear the dings and notifications and stuff going on. And Brad had gotten up last night because he had something going on, so he muted the StreamYard tab. So we're like, oh yeah, okay, well we'll just go in StreamYard and have a little video chat. And we were talking. He's like, buddy, I can't hear you. I don't know what all this means. And he starts chuckling. So we just start laughing. And I'm like, well, I don't think it's me. And he starts checking his headset and everything and restarts his computer. I restart my computer. Well, let's just go to Messenger. So then we go to Messenger and it's just the opposite. Now I can't hear him and he can hear me. So it's like, what in the world is going on? And they just don't, the internet gods don't want us to speak today.
It was Dumb and Dumber is what was going on.
So he had his StreamYard muted in the tab setting, and I had my Facebook muted. So once we finally figured it out, it was like, oh, okay, now we can hear each other again.
So I learned two things. I didn't know I could mute a tab until, the other night. And then I learned two more things, that not only is that mute command persistent across browser sessions, but it's persistent across rebooting your whole computer. It doesn't turn off.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
No, we didn't start. We didn't start early. Well, Brad might have, but I didn't.
No.
But it was just kind of hilarious. You had to. I guess it's one of those moments that was much more funny in person.
It was because it was getting frustrating. It's like,
and then if Todd would have joined, it'd have been like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I can hear both of y'all.
hear both of us.
I'm glad I didn't get caught up in that mess.
I was going to, and I was like, no, he's at a dentist appointment.
Yeah,
But
my
it was
tooth clean today.
it was just
I
crazy.
I said to Bob, I said we could just do, Marcel Marceau meets Red Skelton,
Right.
that kind of thing. We could just do a chat that way. Just
Do it old school and just type it out.
yeah.
He's like, type
Oh,
it in
yeah.
the private chat.
That's what I was telling him. Type it. He was doing this.
I was trying to tell him that the bar from my microphone is showing that it's reading when I'm talking. And he's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What are you doing?
He
Just
was giving me those, and I said, type it in a private chat. I can't understand what all that is.
Well, we finally figured it out.
So, Todd, are you going to go work part-time as Santa in December or something? What's going on here?
No, that's just a joke that me and Brian go back and forth about. So it happened on Facebook one time about a post that he chimed in on that I put up, and somebody else had chimed in about it. It's just a bunch of beekeepers, and then he made the joke about, well, Santa Claus is going to start beekeeping, and then I put like the 3 Santa Claus faces, and then that's how that started. So
I was talking about your beard growing in there.
oh, I'm sorry. No, I've been on vacation this week, so I just haven't shaved.
But if I saw the mustache, it's pretty strong.
Oh,
The real
it's
Todd
only,
shows through.
it's only
I thought-
about 6-7 days. I started early last week.
I thought you were taking on Mike,
Oh,
the
no,
stash.
during COVID, I had the Sam Elliott.
Oh,
and
really?
That thing was full. But
All right.
I got tired of tasting coffee in the middle of the day and food and whatever else. Was in there. But it took about 7 months to grow. But it was nice, and it came in nice, but I couldn't take it anymore. Morning coffee at 4:00 in the afternoon was just too much.
Flavor saver.
Yeah.
Cookie duster.
I never bothered with a beard. It's too annoying.
Oh, you don't know the pleasure.
I enjoy being bald a lot.
So, Todd, when you had that there big mustache, did you have that other gal?
No, we were on lockdown, Charlie. Remember? No, I stayed home. I went from here to the farm and back every day. That's all I did. Then I cooked. That was it. That is funny.
I thought she was okay. Whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to go there right now, Charlie.
That's after hours talk, Charlie.
Yeah, you can ask me that question later on. Is that cheesecake?
Yep.
Oh man,
Cheesecake Charlie.
dang.
Mm,
Cheesecake
my
jar.
favorite.
cheesecake's good.
I haven't had dinner yet. Brian said, "So what's for dinner, or what did I cook?" And I said, "Well, I don't cook on Friday nights. I eat leftovers from what I cooked on Thursday night." And so last night I made a bunch of black bean tostadas. So had onions and garlic and black beans and cheese and salsa and all in a nice little toasty tortilla.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And
Well, I make my own bread. That's some cooking.
Hey, Carl.
Okay, but Alex, is it bread maker bread?
No.
Okay, because I was going to
It's
say
a
that.
recipe I found on YouTube.
Good.
I made my pre-ferment 24 hours in advance. I just use ordinary like all-purpose flour.
Well,
along
so
with
this
the
is
pre-ferment.
sourdough bread?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is there yeast?
Yes, there's yeast. I buy
Okay,
those
so it's not
packets of
sourdough.
yeast.
If there's yeast, it's not sourdough.
Okay. Then it's just regular old bread.
Still respect, though. Making your own bread like that, that's no small task.
There's Mark's
Pretty
question.
easy. It's
Well,
really easy. There's
well,
no.
Just
I'll
saying.
link you the video I took the recipe from if you want.
Sure.
Give me a moment.
4 or 5 queen cells with protectors into a mating nuke. Would the queen that makes it be the champ? Any thoughts?
Like a cage fight. It's a death match cage fight.
And then it'd be my luck. They would fight to the death, and then the one would go out to fly to get mated and get picked off by a dragonfly.
Because
Yeah.
it used
Mm.
Bank them, would they not?
Four of them would sneak out of the hive and take some of the bees with them, and then there'd just be one left.
I heard somebody the other day say they think that the bees sometimes will hold the virgin back to make sure the queen comes back mated, but I don't know if that's the case or not.
When we make swarm cells, they're actually will stage the swarm cells almost up to a week, like 5 or 6 days, for a second chance.
Brad and Bob got their own little show going on over there.
Brad's got to check his hashtags on his
They're
video.
muting each other. Mutiny.
So I'll take this one, Brad, while you're in a laughing fit. So Brad put up a short, and he's sending me like a picture of the graft, how good this short's been doing over the last 60 minutes. And then all of a sudden I get this snip, and it, you know how it says where it's suggested on YouTube, and it says old photos of beautiful Native American women, 100%. That's where his views are coming from, suggestions through YouTube, and it's about honey in the frame.
Not exactly the demographic I was after, but I guess it's okay if you're looking for views.
A view is a view. View is a view.
Sorry, I just noticed that. It was like went straight up 800 views, and I thought, where are these coming from? Well, I found out.
I put the bread recipe video in the private chat, Brad, if you want to see it.
Okay, thanks. It's just the
That's
craziest
funny.
thing. Like, in a million years, I wouldn't have guessed.
This is what Blaine was saying. I don't know, would it be the luck of the draw, or I doubt it. I think it just whoever wins.
Yeah, it's
But what if
a
the
lot of
best
times
queen
the
is the
first,
one to
the oldest one,
get into the fight,
which ain't always the best one.
and
It's
then
usually the oldest one's usually the strongest one, a little bit more mature.
Yeah, but they all emerge because we've got them in cages.
Yeah.
yeah.
It would just bank the queens if they were. I kept a half a dozen queens in a mating nuke for a week or 10 days, and then used them one at a time out of.
Yeah, what he was saying, Doug, is though he's talking about he got a protector so the queen can actually get out. All the queens can get out.
Yeah, I read it. He had a queen them in a cage, but
No, the protector is what he said, just to keep them from tearing down the cells on the side. I think that's what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use a cage and keep them in that.
And I think he's just doing having fun or doing an experiment.
Yeah.
7 acres.
You're still on the land.
Well, it's on a road called Farmers Road, so how could you lose, right? But, it's actually one of the most reasonable price land parcels that I've seen recently. But there's no water on the property and no electric, so that poses an issue. Which means you have to put those items in.
That's interesting there.
Mm-hmm.
that the workers kill. Well, I do know that is, they talk about the queen going around and stinging the other cells. Really, actually, it's the workers.
The workers definitely tear them
Yeah,
down.
and sometimes they'll protect a particular queen from the other queens, virgin queens.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I do know that Russian bees will actually reseal the emerging queen cells up to kind of like hold her back and not let her out. That's what I understand.
Banking their own queens.
That's because they haven't gotten approval from Putin to let her out yet.
Oh, that's weird.
I got a low battery here, so I'm going to check out. We'll catch you guys another night.
All right, Doug.
All right,
See you, Doug.
All right, see you,
Have
Doug.
fun, buddy.
Yeah, there's
I
no
just
building.
I just poured another one, so I'm good for a while.
Carl says, Bob, I live on golf course road and there's no golf course. Doesn't always happen.
That's funny.
You going to sleep? Okay, get off of here. All right, fellas, I'm gonna get off of here, and I don't want to go into after hours. My mom won't let me play with you guys anymore.
Looks like
All
she's
right.
sleeping.
See you, Philip.
She's awake.
Have a good one.
All
See
right,
you
good
later.
night. See you later.
Yeah, Grammy.
Getting that. It's getting to that 2 hour mark. So things
2:07.
start slowing
Go for
down.
a 5-hour record there, Charlie.
What's that?
Go for a 5-hour record.
Nah, not tonight. I got to get up and work tomorrow by myself. My brother's sick. He's got the flu or whatever's going around. Head cold.
He don't have the Wuhan flu, does he?
Nah, it's more of a, coughing and head cold and all that stuff. And he went to the doctor today. He went out to Ohio last week and I don't know, he had a crick in his neck and then it made like one of his arms weak or something. So they're supposed to do an MRI next Friday or something like that. So
I'm here, but I'm frozen.
In a
At
great
least you're
position.
smiling while frozen.
Yeah, Todd's kind of
I froze.
froze.
It's at the 2 hour mark. I usually do that.
So what is it? That
Smile or
cheap
freeze?
internet service you got or what?
The damn hamster is not running in the wheel
Yeah.
fast enough, I guess, tonight.
Ball bearings must be going out.
It's this old laptop. It's an old MacBook. So
With Mike. I don't like Mike.
Carl put 200 pounds into his new Hilco. I guess it's
Hilco bottling tank.
no, I think
The creamer he bought.
For bottling. That's a lot, though. 200 pounds.
10 gallons, right? Less
Yeah.
than 10 gallons. But it works. It will work.
Yeah.
There's the problem, MacBook, Blaine says. I'm just trying to see how long the dead arrow go before somebody says something.
Awkward pause.
Yeah.
That's a pause for effect.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Charlie. I don't have a whole lot going on. Just trying to survive these absconding swarms.
you got swarms this time of year.
One thing flew into one of my empty boxes, and then I got called last Friday for a swarm. It was
Alex.
4 frames. 4 frames. It looked like a spring swarm.
I found Alex's new flatbed.
Oh,
Gonna be yeah, that's what I thought.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
perfect.
You could put one pallet on the back.
It looks like a golf cart.
You could
It is.
probably mount an easy loader to that thing.
That-
Yeah, there you
Just
go.
right up there behind the cab.
The thing would fold in half.
3 colonies in there too, right?
that is
You'd pick up a hive and a truck would flip over.
that's a golf course utility cart right there.
Oh man.
Ah, you're a good sport, Alex.
Alex is a great
Yeah.
sport. And he keeps coming
Yeah,
back.
Charlie, when
By
we
that he
met-
means I'm his favorite punching bag.
He keeps coming back.
He keeps coming back. We dish it out, and he keeps coming. And now he's feeling comfortable enough to where he starts jabbing back a little bit.
A migratory cloud car, right? It says.
The migratory.
That's good.
Everybody thought I was frozen, but then I blinked.
Yeah.
Let's see.
See you later, Paul.
That's I don't know, but I might look at this land because what they're asking and what all might be different things.
Yeah,
What's
you
that?
don't need electrics to put
That's what you're
hives.
talking about more and more.
Yeah, I've been looking for it, and it's the right amount. And there's a lake within flight of the bees, so the water source is covered. And so I don't know. It's interesting. I'll look at it, see.
Right.
Worst case, you can make some wind turbines. They're pretty easy to make. Like a few magnets, carve up some blades. To make the stator is pretty easy too. The alternator, I don't know much. I saw a video, a guy using 3D printing to make a holder for the magnet for the spinning part of the alternator, and then he bound them up all together and just
So this
assembled
is
the whole thing.
this is the section of land here, and it's got a cleared spot off that was a field or a pasture right here in the beginning, but it's lots of woods, right?
It's long
But
and
there's
narrow.
nothing over here. There's no other houses around here. Well, maybe right here, but
Yeah.
nothing. So
Is that a highway over there where them white dots are?
yeah, this is it's a more major road, I guess. It's not really a highway, but it's probably a 2-lane road through the country. But
How far is it out?
from
How
here,
wide
it's
is that?
Yeah.
30 miles. Not even 30 miles, really. Matter of
How
fact,
wide
when
is
I
that?
go to buy queens from Cutix, this is like right in between Cutix and where I live now. So it's that's what it looks like right there.
Kind of an odd piece of
Big
ground.
lot.
Yeah, I don't know why they
How
would.
wide is that?
I don't
Well,
know.
that's the
Yeah.
other guy's property likely, but I mean, what's the dimension there? How
It
wide
looks
is
like
it long?
a
Let's
frame, a top bar or something.
It looks like an entrance reducer.
See if it says here dimensions of the lot. Probably won't. 34,800, 6.92 acres. Private road, dirt road. But it started at 50 grand and it's at 34.8. It's coming down.
Well,
Yeah, why?
They must want to sell it. And then I walk up there and say, how much would you take cash? No financing, nothing, no
34.8.
bank, just pay him cash.
Go up with 20 grand in a suitcase and they'll probably take it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give me the actual lot dimensions.
That'd be interesting to know. Doesn't look like it's more than a couple 100 feet wide.
Average commute is 27 minutes. Where am I? Manitoba?
Average commute.
Yeah. I won't scroll down anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of interesting.
Is it swamp?
No, it does have. I think this may have some swamp stuff going on. Maybe a.
It says 300 by 700 foot. Mm.
It's weird that the property line doesn't follow that other road.
That's not even the address there.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
Let's see where the lake
It's
is.
very,
Here's
it's very
the
random.
lake.
It's just a random size and shape.
The lake's right there.
Oh, is that a creek running through there in the back of it?
That's a creek.
And you have a pit cemetery. So if you've read Stephen King,
Not a pet
Perfect.
cemetery. Pits. Hey, and there's look, and you could work there and then go get you a cold beer right there.
Perfect.
What's it? What's in green? I can't read it.
Pit Cemetery. Right here.
Yeah.
What the hell is a pit cemetery?
It's Pitts, like the last name Pitts.
Oh,
It's not Pet Cemetery. Alex thought it was Pet Cemetery.
Oh, but they have a wildlife management area right here. So that's yeah.
where's the other bigger towns? Maybe I've recognized where I'm at.
Sumter. That's where Shaw Air Force Base is right here. So
So is that where they had the prison back in Civil War days?
no, you're thinking Fort Sumter. But anyway, that's I don't know, interesting to me. I live right here. Actually, I live right in here. So that's the kind of the distance. I don't know. Don't know. Anyway.
Road trip tomorrow.
Yeah, the good thing is that if you buy the land, then a lot of times you can use the land to get a building put on it, right? As like collateral. And then you pay the building off and then it's all paid off. So I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Yeah, it's called Wedgefield. It's kind of a little side road that goes around Sumter, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Probably nothing knowing me because it's like, money in the bank, piece of dirt, money in the bank.
money value goes down always nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Land value stays the same, so basically goes up as the worth of money goes down. You can't really lose money on land. At least that's what I think. Don't take this as financial advice.
You're right. Everyone's like, and I asked a guy that's a millionaire, and I was discussing my business and everything, and he says, "Well, if business is going good, and you've got a chunk of money that you have at your disposal," he said, he's used the stock market, he's bought real estate, he's done all that stuff. He said, buy infrastructure for your business. He said, because that will make you more money off of the money you've already got, where over time, as compared to, putting it in the stock market and the stocks go down and then you're screwed or something else. So I don't know.
Right. Physical assets.
And so that's just an interesting one that showed up.
I mean, it's inexpensive. It's 7 acres, so
Yeah, but it's trees, right? So then you got to clear some land. But I mean, there's some field right there, right? So it's been
yeah, you can
cleared
put
out.
bees on the edge of the woods. I mean, I know how much time does it take to reach that place?
From here.
Yeah,
I had direct.
so I'm used to thinking kilometers, so miles.
I don't know, 30 minutes maybe from here, where I'm at.
So roughly the same distance my bees are at from my house. So, like, if you can get it, I think you should. That's again my
Yeah,
opinion.
Doug's got a point. They stopped making land years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
like 4 billion years ago when the Earth formed.
Yeah, except for Hawaii.
It makes itself every year. So that would be a thing to consider.
I mean, you've been saying several times
Oh, I've been looking.
you need more room for your bees because you have too many hives on a spot that doesn't have enough resources for them. That would solve your problem. Like
Yeah.
Charlie and his hive lifter, and Bob and his land.
They're
Who's going to
trying.
make them a first move?
So that might be something there for sure. Even if put a steel building out there or something, just to store boxes and
Exactly.
stuff
A
in.
shed,
And, then,
a large shed for your boxes.
and who knows? Maybe part of that metal building would be a storefront for bee supplies.
There you go.
Sell more stuff from the Met.
So it's
There's enough population in the area.
well, there's plenty of well, I don't know if there's plenty of beekeepers, but I know I've had beekeepers drive here from a couple hours away just to get a queen or something like that, you know. So I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. 34.8. Maybe I hold out a little bit longer and let the price drop a little bit more.
There you go.
Problem is, whenever you get a realtor involved, then you got closing fees and all the other stuff, right? Which this is kind of at the top end of my limit there.
Well, 30-some thousand is quite cheap.
Well, yeah, I mean, for you couldn't buy like a.
You can't even buy an acre for that.
So it's easy to, with no known restrictions.
So you can have commercial and agricultural in there.
Well, it depends on zoning, I presume.
Well, I assume that's what he meant by no restrictions.
No, they'll have restrictions where you can't have any chickens on there, or you have to do this, or you have to do that type of thing. Especially around here, they'll have, I don't know, you can have this and this, but you can't have that on there, you know. And it's like, you know, I'm buying raw ground here. You know, I tell them we ain't worried about, you know, they won't sell it to you if they don't have restrictions.
Well, technically, you could go either way, because if it's zoned commercial, well, it's a commercial honey operation. If it's zoned agriculture, well, it's a farm. You know, the only thing is if it's residential, then maybe it's an issue.
Yeah, I ran into a few people that asked me to put bees on their land, and I look up the city plans, and it's all residential. So I had to refuse.
So to give you an idea, right in my same area right here, for an acre, 1.4 acres, they want 30,000. Down there, 34,000 for 7. So definitely different demographics there, I guess.
Means your neighbors can do whatever they want too. Well, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's where you just leave enough trees up where you don't see your neighbors.
There you go.
You got to go through a path in the back through the trees, and then it opens up to your
D9 dozer right down the center.
just knock the trees over.
Use the tree, cut them up for lumber, sell the lumber, finance a building.
Depends on what kind of tree you got. Probably it's pine.
It's probably pine.
Probably pulpwood.
I don't know. We'll see. Didn't want to.
You could get some money out of the lumber or build something out of it.
There you go. Carl said 240 foot,
Yeah.
240 foot cargo containers, and there you go.
Yeah.
So,
Like what? The cargo container is like
Get some
$3,000.
cinder blocks, set them on the cinder blocks, and you're good to go.
and then I wouldn't have money to buy equipment. Be out of equipment money.
Yeah, no more new stuff.
No more toys. Yeah, that's true. A chemical plant or something could be built next to you. But it seems like, I mean, by the photo, it looks like there's some small farms around and stuff because it looks pretty flat there. Well, looks like it runs all the way back to that creek, which is why it's got a weird.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And
That's
back.
why I mentioned it. So it looks like it's just weird. It's got that little cutout in it in the front side.
Yeah, I don't know why that's like that.
Yeah, it's not
That's the
normal.
cemetery.
What'd you say, Todd?
That's the cemetery.
Oh, is that the cemetery? Might be.
Probably.
That'd be. Then I could do haunted apiary tours and have ghost hunters in the bee yard.
Haunted honey.
So
That's probably why nobody wants to buy it either. So many people
I
are
wonder what the
The
farmer.
bees will get pollen from the flowers on
superstitious
the
about
tombs.
cemeteries.
You have
What
to
about
wonder
the
what those
cemetery,
farmers are
Tom?
putting out there.
What about the cemetery, Tom?
It's a lot of people are superstitious about them.
Wow.
I'm good friends with the president of the Greater Cincinnati cemeteries, and I get calls for swarms. So this year I went out in the springtime, and it was basically dark, and people were like, "What are you doing?" Getting bees off a tombstone.
Well, it says this land can be used for either agriculture or recreation.
There you go.
What? Can't build on it?
Well, you'd have to, right? Most farms have buildings on them.
Instead of Walker Bees Ranch, it's going to be called Walker Bees Farm.
Let's see. Whether you're looking to use the land for cash flow or simply enjoy outdoor activities. Don't know. You'd have to look it up on like Zillow, right? Zillow would probably say.
Chasing ghosts at night's a pretty good activity, outdoor wise.
Let's see. What the hell is going on? Let's close that down. Close that down. Close that down. 0.
Yeah, Brian says they got cemetery honey.
Yeah, see that.
0 Farmers Road, Wedgefield. Unimproved land, no data.
No dad.
37 people have saved it.
Yeah.
Sewer not available. Oh, there's utilities for property, it says. Water not available.
I mean, you got
Nothing's
to
available.
Got to drill a well, right?
drill a well and put a septic in.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why it doesn't show the dimensions and everything, right? For the property.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's 10:30. I'm going to go ahead and shut
Oh,
the chat
yeah.
down. Just remind
I
everybody
agree.
listening in is that I will not be on next Friday. I will be away for a well-rested vacation. So
There you go. Enjoy it.
I'll have to
Enjoy
get
it, Charlie.
Bob to tell me how to put up that post again. So, all right, guys. Good to see y'all. Brian, everybody.
Good night,
Tim and Al.
everyone.
And all that stuff. So here we go. We end, and there we are.